What's up, guys? Frizzy here, and today is something a little different. Um, I'm doing a deck discussion, and I usually do deck discussions in the video game. I recently did one for MTGO, but this one is very different. This is for a real life deck that I'm trying to build, and honestly, this is not just me building a deck like like I'm good at it or anything. Like, oh yeah, this deck's gonna win all the time. This is more to get some suggestions from you guys as to maybe what I should run. Uh, and do you think that this deck has some synergy going with it? Basically, I saw the card Alchemist Refuge from Avacyn Restored. An Alchemist Refuge, pretty decent card. It's a green and a blue. It's a first of all, it's a land. You drop it, add one to your mana pool, or for a green and a blue, you tap it. You may cast non-land cards this turn as though they had flash. So that said, I could cast more than one card because it says non-land cards this turn, so it's more than one card, and it only costs a green and a blue, which is pretty good. Now that said, that means certain cards that I play are going to cost two more mana. Now, as I was thinking about a certain deck to build with this, the first thought that came to mind was, well, I need to find a way to either build a lot of mana early or to at least keep mana open at the bottom so I could, do these tricks. And that's when I came to my next card, Somby Sage. Somby Sage is for 2 and a forest. It's a human druid. Tap it, add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. So, that said, if I have this guy out on the board, I can tap her to cast my creature spells and leave my tricks basically open for flash. And with that, so now that I have a way to keep my mana open, now I'm thinking, well, how can I build this deck? I have two people that could pretty much, two things like the land and Somber Sage that could pretty much keep my mana open. But what route am I going to go with this deck? Well, the land is green blue and this is green, so obviously I have to build some sort of green blue deck. And some of the strongest green cards are cards like this: Champion of Lambhold. For 1 and 2 green, creatures with power less than Champion of Lambhold's power can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lambhold. Now, that's a pretty good card. And at first, I actually did a video on this. I did a video about this earlier, and the deck build, it didn't seem to function well, because what I was trying to do was produce tokens with Jade Mage, but Jade Mage's ability costs 3, and that cost is kind of high. It's kind of high. So then I thought, what if I put cheap creatures in there and I just keep throwing in cheap creatures? And no, that didn't really work either. It didn't seem to function right. It didn't feel right. So I thought, well, a good way to do it is if I put massive amounts of counters on it early. And with Avacyn Restored, there's cards that do that, and I'm going to show you. Right here, we have Blessings of Nature. I'll open in a new tab, and Revenge of the Hunted, and Wolfear Silverheart. We'll start with Blessings of Nature. Blessings of Nature is a miracle card for 5. It's a sorcery. Distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures, and its miracle cost is for 1. So if I draw this off the top, I could slam it down on my Champion of Lambhold and, swing in, and nothing will block it. Or, swing in with the army, nothing will block it, or whatever. That's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's a good way to put permanent counters on my guy. Here is Wolfear Silverheart. Wolfear Silverheart is a 5 mana creature for 3 and 2 green, and it has Soulbond. And as long as Wolfear Silverheart is paired with another creature, each of these creatures gets +4/+4. That's another way to put counters on my Champion of Lambhold. Now, they're not permanent counters. You could Vapor Snag it. It could come right back to my hand and get rid of the counters, and unfortunately, that would be a pretty sad trick, and it would suck if that would happen. But as you see, it's cost to cast it is not that high. And yes, three and two green. It's gonna be hard for me to flash it, but here's the thing. That's why I'm running Somber Sage. It's gonna throw three green out there to cast Wolfear Silverheart. So for green and a blue, I can tap a green and a blue and the Somber Sage and flash in Silverheart at their end step, or whenever I feel that it's safe to flash it in when it's not going to get mana leaked or when they're all tapped out, you know? And I could swing in on my turn and presumably win the game if everything's set up right. And the other card, which is a total blowout card, let me X this out here. A total blowout card here is Revenge of the Hunted. Revenge of the Hunted for 4 and 2 green, sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature gets +6/+6 and gains trample, and all creatures able to block it this turn do so. Its miracle cost is for 1 green. Even throwing this down for 6 is really good. So if I'm able to put this down on my Champion of Lambholt, nobody can block because they have to have the equal power to do it. So I could swing in with the Wolfear. I could swing in for a possible eat. Jesus, it's a lot. I could swing in for 19 damage in one turn if everything's set up right. Now, with that said, not everything's going to go my way in a match. So I need to put in cards that are going to help me maybe get some control going, or just help me in general to deal with problems. So that's why I have guys like Wingcrafter and Nightshade Peddler, Mortar Pod, and my Prey Pawns and Mana Leaks. Wingcrafter, for 1 blue, it's a 1-drop, Soul Bond. As long as it's paired with another creature, both creatures have flying. Now, with my green-blue land, I could flash this guy whenever I want. He only costs 1 blue. Now, he could block a flyer, but that's all he could do because he's just a 1/1. But what if a Nightshade Peddler was already on the battlefield? Nightshade Peddler, for 1 of the green, Soul Bond. As long as Nightshade Peddler is paired with another creature, both creatures have Death Touch. What if he's my only guy on the battlefield? What if he was paired with somebody and my opponent Vapor Snacked it away on my end step and decided to swing in because it was safe? Flash in Wingcrafter, pair it up with the Death Touch guy, block it, give it Death Touch, it dies. That's a pretty neat trick. Unfortunately, it's not as secretive as a regular instant spell would be, because if I'm keeping mana open and I only have one guy, it might look like I have a trick or two up my sleeve. But Mortar Pod here is also a big help, mostly because not only could I just take this and flash it in, because it's any non-land cards, I can flash it in. It's a living weapon. A living weapon is when this equipment enters the battlefield, put a 0/0 black germ creature token onto the battlefield and attach it to that. So, equipped creature gets +0/+1 and has sacrifice this creature. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Now, because the creature is dealing damage to whatever it's being shot at, I could pair it up with the Nightshade Peddler, give it Death Touch, it's going to die. It's pretty good. Pretty neat tricks. Also had the Prey Pawns for 1 green. Now, this is a pretty sick trick. I mean, for the green-blue flash land, I can flash in a Prey Pawn. It's pretty nice. And then Mana Leak, obviously, to keep the tempo early. Now, that said, this isn't the best looking deck. I think it's pretty fun, but I want to get your guys' opinion. Do you think there's other cards that I should run? Mainly not creatures. I feel comfortable with the creatures there. But if you guys have some suggestions, I'm open. I'm open to whatever suggestions you guys got. But mostly for the spells. Are there any spells that I'm missing out on that I could play probably? I know what a standard sideboard could be, but if you guys have any sideboard questions, you go ahead with that. And there you go. This is my Somberwald Refuge deck, and if you guys like it, you can leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, but please, I really want a big discussion on this. I want to know what you guys think. I'm Frizzy. You guys have a nice day. Peace out.